cherished doll friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Cheryl and this is my third installment of doll collecting over 60. As you may know, I am a doll collector and I have a channel dedicated just to collecting dolls, all different types of dolls, and I've just started this new series for our older adult collectors, and including myself because I'm 61. So I hope you'll enjoy this episode. I decided to call this one, Are Dolls the Fountain of Youth? So I came up with this idea, things to talk about as an older adult doll collector. Gee, that's hard to say. Reasons why we like doll collecting. And this is one for me. I think about this sometimes, how the dolls make me feel young. So I have 5 reasons that I want to share with you why my dolls make me feel young. And I'm interested to hear if you have any ideas or thoughts on how dolls make you feel younger too. And please put them in the comments. And at the same time, if you wouldn't mind clicking the like and subscribe button, if you appreciate this kind of content, I'd really appreciate it. And of course, share the video. So I'm going to go on to my list of 5 things. But first I have just a small introduction. So I want to just tell you quickly about this necklace. I recently had a little family reunion with my aunt and my mom and my stepmom, my sister, my cousin, and my niece. And we were all, we get together every year. This is our 3rd annual, we call it the Auntie Girls Annual Summer Soiree. And it's to honor, we're the girls of my dad's girls, and my dad passed away 2.5 years ago, so I guess almost 3 now. Was this our 3rd one? Yeah, this was our 3rd one. So my niece made this necklace. That's the point I was getting at. And isn't it beautiful? It's called Foley's Pearls. You can find her on Instagram. I'll put the link below, F-O-L-E-Y-S Pearls. And she makes these beautiful pearl necklaces. She uses freshwater pearls, natural pearls, oddly shaped pearls and beads and stones, and puts them all together and makes these beautiful necklaces. So I just wanted to share that and give a little shout out to my niece. So as an introduction to this topic, I just wanted to give you something to think about. Wouldn't you agree that our children are like our hearts walking outside of our bodies? We worry about them, we feel their joys, we feel their pain, and we think about them all the time. Well, similarly, or maybe not that similar, our dolls are our youth existing outside of our body. Think about it. So this goes into my 5 reasons why I feel this way. Number 1, perfect skin, thick, voluminous hair, bright, beautiful eyes, and long eyelashes are reflecting back at us when we look at our dolls, just like our younger selves did when we looked in a mirror. As an example, our little Alice doll here, I mean, look at her beautiful, youthful skin and her cute little cheeks and her bright, shining eyes. So that's one example of what I mean when I look at these dolls. They make me feel young again because what's reflecting back at me is just youth, smooth skin, bright eyes, thick, voluminous hair. It just screams youth, doesn't it? Our dolls. Look how long her eyelashes are. I wish mine were that long. I've never really had really long eyelashes anyway, and because I'm fair-skinned and fair, I don't really have strong features. But besides that, that is one thing that my dolls do for me, is they make me feel young when I look at them. Number 2, we see our dolls wearing younger fashions like short skirts and even kids' clothes. Often we see them as fantasy characters and wearing outfits from different time periods. This gives us the ability to time travel to another time in our lives, or even another time in history. So time traveling is quite a concept. I love thinking about time travel. Some of my favorite movies are about time travel, like the movie with Michael J. Fox, Back to the Future, and A Journey Through Time, I think is the name of a movie. Or am I mixing that up with the virtual doll convention Grace subscription. I think that's also called A Journey Through Time, but there is a movie about that too. And so I just love this idea of traveling through time. Now that I'm over 60, I do tend to drift back into my memories a lot more than I did before. I don't know if you feel that way too, but I do find myself when I'm driving in the car, I'll get flashbacks of different moments in my life, times when I was younger, experiences that I had. And so even when I'm dressing the dolls in different fashions, in childlike clothes, and just back in time, like these beautiful outfits here, like period costumes, it brings me back even prior to my own past, but to the past history of people and human beings and what we once wore. And I wish that I could have lived in those times when people wore big dresses like this and beautiful lace collars and cuffs. And I just love the fashions from the earlier times. So I'm not a fashion historian. I can't really explain all the terminology even the dates of any of these things, but I do love to think about that and dream about different times in my life and that I could have lived in and times that I did live in. And my Nima is wearing a paper dress, and this is from the 60s. I was born in the 60s, so I wasn't really wearing these clothes in the 60s because I was just a little kid. But I saw pictures of this in advertisements, dresses like this, and my mom dressed a bit like this, like kind of like the go-go hippie look. And so this is a really good example of being able to look back in time and feel younger through our fashion and through our dolls. Okay, my next thought about how dolls make me feel younger are the baby dolls. Now, I'm not a big collector of baby dolls, but I do have one reborn doll that looks like my son, and I'm going to show him to you. And I have a baby doll from my childhood, which I showed recently in a video as well. So let me just bring up this guy. This is my spitting image of my son, actually. He looks very realistic. Some people don't like these kinds of dolls. They're a little creepy to some, but he is a very nicely done reborn doll. He looks very realistic, and if you look at his face, and I have a picture here of my son, you can see how much they look alike. So this doll I find very comforting to hold, because he reminds me of being a young mom. I was 29 when I had my baby, and he's 31 now. So he's all grown up, and I miss my baby son. I miss those times and those days, and just being able to pick this doll up once in a while and just remember how it felt to be a young mom. And in that stage of my life, it just takes me back. It makes me feel young again. It makes me feel like that young mom. So there's a lot of value for people that are over 60 to enjoy these types of baby dolls. And so that's why I have him. And isn't he just so sweet? He's a gorgeous doll. That is the Noah sculpt by Riva Schick, I believe. Yes. This little baby I showed recently in a video, and she makes me feel young because she was the doll that my dad gave me when I was a little girl. So I've kept her all this time. She's been around for a very long time. I was, I think, 10 years old when I got her. I'm 61 now. So yeah, that's my little baby doll from childhood. And just having her and looking at her reminds me of dreaming of being a mom when I was a little girl. So I think that's another way that our dolls make us feel young. So my number 4 reason of why dolls make me feel young, and maybe you feel this way too, are joints that move without pain. So these jointed dolls that articulate are so much fun. I have pretty good mobility, but not everyone does. And as we age, things get a little bit tight, and freedom of movement isn't something that we should take for granted. Not all of us have it, but our dolls do, and they can move and pose in many different ways, like these articulated dolls. And you can really remind yourself what you used to do when you were young in the way that you pose your dolls, and even the way that they can dress in with figures that are nice and slim. These kinds of dolls bring us back to a youthful look, youthful bodies and faces. And when you look at them, it makes you feel, it takes you back to those times. It makes you feel young. And there's no bumps and lumps to worry about when you're dressing your dolls. Everything fits smoothly and nicely. And yeah, don't we wish that we could look like this forever? And that brings me to my last point. And this one will sound kind of silly too, but it's part of my silly presentation. Immortality. Dolls will outlive most of us and our family and friends, and they give us something in human form that will never die. How many of you have named a doll after a loved one, whether they're passed away or still around? We do that. We name our dolls after movie stars. We name our dolls after loved ones, friends, people that we've known. And I have a few dolls that I look at that remind me of certain people that aren't here anymore. And it's just kind of a comforting thing to be able to look at the doll and be reminded of that person. This doll here, my Grace doll, reminds me of a very dear person in my life. And she hasn't passed away. She is still in the world, but we've lost touch, and I loved her and still love her very much. She travels all over the world. She's a jazz singer. Her name is Melinda Whitaker. And so I've named her Melinda. And every time I look at her, it reminds me of being young, because she's a friend from my childhood. She was my mom's age, but she was a role model for me when I was 12, 13. She taught me about beauty and hair and makeup. She was a singer. She was on the Renee Simard show, and I was just very starstruck by her. And she was a good friend, almost like another mother to me. And so she just gives me beautiful memories of this beautiful person, and also of my youth when I knew her and when I spent more time with her. So that is my Melinda. This is the first time I've ever revealed her name on a video of my Grace doll being Melinda. So there you go. Here are some examples of my childhood dolls. This is my Chrissy and Velvet dolls. Not the original ones that I had. I've purchased these as an adult collector, but this is Velvet. This is the one that my sister had. She's the little cousin to our beautiful Chrissy, and they have beautiful, voluminous hair. Look at her. It's gorgeous. I did a rehab on her on my channel, and her hair can grow. Well, it's very long right now, and if you turn the dial inside her, the dial on her back, it grows shorter, like that, and look at her cute hair. She's a beautiful Chrissy. And then if you push her belly button, you can pull her ponytail out again and make it long. She's so cute. And I had a doll like this as a child, and whoops, oh dear, sorry, Velvet. Oh my goodness, Velvet. What happened to you? What happened? Did you fall? Oh my goodness. Yeah, so when I started finding these Chrissy and Velvet dolls in thrift stores, I had to start collecting them because they make me feel young and they remind me of being a child at this age when I played with these dolls. So that's my beautiful Chrissy and Velvet. And another doll that reminds me of a person in my life, let me just move my camera over a little here, is this one here. This is my American Girl doll, Samantha. She's a Be Forever Samantha. And she reminds me so much of my best friend, Chandrea. For a while, she was my comfort doll. She went through a health scare a couple of years ago. At 59, she had a heart attack, and it was very scary. She was in the hospital for a long time, and she had to have open heart surgery. And We were all so scared for her. She is doing so well now, but this is my Chandrea doll, and she's a comfort doll. I do play with her hair, her beautiful voluminous hair quite a bit because I love how her hair is. It's so shiny and so long and youthful looking. And this is how she used to look when she was, when we were in our 20s. Actually, that's not true. She used to have short hair, but then she grew it out, and then she had a bob, so it was about to here, and she had these little China doll bangs, and she was just absolutely adorable. Now she wears her hair all one length and long like this, so she's kind of a blend of how she used to look and how she looks now. And so she's just a really important doll to me because she, just like Melinda does, Chandrea is my best friend, and this doll makes me think of her, and I often give her hugs, and I just love this as a comfort doll. So there are all the dolls that I was showing you. Now I have another one here that I was going to do a separate video on, but I might just show her here instead. This is a doll that I'm thinking of rehoming. She's a limited edition porcelain doll, and she was my grandmother's doll, and this is why I still have her. I'm going to open her up and show you. I don't really like the doll per se, but she means a lot to me because she was my grandmother's, and when she was a senior lady and she got cancer, she started giving me some of her precious items, and this was one of them. So I'm a little bit stuck on what to do with this one because I don't like the doll, but my grandma loved her. So as you can see, she is a baby doll too. She's like a toddler almost. And she's a porcelain doll. She's got these bright blue eyes. She does kind of have a cute face. She's in really good condition. She's been well looked after. I displayed her for a while when I first had her, and then I put her away in the box. She could almost be a little boy also. But I always flip these little pieces up here, and she's got a little puppy dog too in the box. And this adorable little outfit, and these little China feet, these porcelain feet. This is not the kind of doll that I collect, so that is why I am thinking of rehoming her. But as I said, she does remind me of my grandmother, and she kind of was an inspiration to me in the adult doll collecting. So what do you guys think I should do? I just don't know. I don't really have the heart to rehome her, but I don't really want to display her or keep her either. So I just don't know what to do. She's quite big and takes up a lot of space. So yeah, if you have any suggestions, please let me know in the comments. So in this cupboard, I've moved a few things around, and so I've got these dolls in here now. I've had to move a few things around because they're going to be doing some work in my place soon, and I actually put most of my dolls away, but there's a delay in the project, and so I've slowly been getting the dolls out again and moving them around. But these ones here, look at these three here. Aren't they just so cute and youthful looking? Like, look at the look on this one. This is Taryn from Maple Lee, and she just has, look at the way she's got her little hands clasped. She just has such an innocent, sweet little look, and her dimples. And then these two here just make me think of adventure, like young girls going out and experiencing life, and maybe one's got a lemonade stand and one's going snowmobiling. They just look so youthful and fun, and these girls just are very youthful looking and just remind me of being 10, 11, 12 and with life ahead of us and so much to do. This doll here, my absolute favorite, Elowen, she kind of gives me high school prom vibes, and I have good memories of that, dressing up and going to the high school dance. I hope that showing these different examples kind of gives you a sense of how I feel that these dolls just make me think of youthfulness and make me feel young and remind me of when I was young. And they represent little human beings that walk outside of our bodies in a youthful way, and they're still a part of us, even though it's not our body. It's still an extension of our personalities and how we express ourselves in the world. I'm so glad you joined me today, everybody, for this funny little video. And again, I'm interested in hearing your thoughts and what you think of this topic. There are some of the things that make me feel younger when I play with and look at my dolls. As I said, I would really love to hear some of your thoughts about this. Do your dolls make you feel younger, and why? I want to hear in the comments why your dolls make you feel young and any other reasons that you enjoy playing with your doll collection. So I hope you enjoyed this installment of Doll Collecting Over 60, and I will be back soon again with another video. Bye, everybody. How it felt to be a young mom, and in that stage of my life, it just takes me back and makes me feel young again. It makes me feel